Monday morning, everybody. We are back out on a little project. This is a little different than what I normally do, but not totally outside what I do. You guys just see me do several gravel pads. I don't do a lot of them, but got a pretty good one today. I got the skid steer behind me, and so let's just take a look at what we got. All right, got the skiddy. Picked up a bucket from Herc today, this morning. They only charged me like 10 bucks to rent this thing, so I don't use a bucket very much, so why buy one for over 2 grand when you can rent one for like $10? So I got the weed eater and the blower right here, and I'll show you why. So we're gonna basically lay down fabric and basically do all of this in gravel. There's an existing driveway here. It's got a really bad pothole. We're gonna scrape that out, get that cleaned up, and then lay this whole thing out in fabric. I've got 1 load of clean fill dirt coming for this big, you guys, I don't know if this is gonna show up in the video, but there's a big indention hole right here that this has been holding water. So we're gonna try to take a load of dirt, fill this up a little bit, build it up. Now there's already a bit of a grade coming off the house to shed this water. I want to keep that grade to keep that water going that way. I don't want to flatten this whole thing off, but we do want to fill in this hole to raise that up to get that water to keep going that way instead of settle here. And I got the weed eater. We're going to just kind of clean up some of these weeds, get all these leaves and stuff blown off. And so fabric all this, we're going to fabric in there, bring all this straight back to there, kind of go in there a little bit. All this will be fabric, so we don't have to scrape this grass off. The fabric will kill all of that and keep that grass from growing back through. So that's the project. So today's deal, so it's the 3rd, tomorrow's the 4th. I can't get stoned tomorrow, so goal for today is to get this grass cut down, get everything blown off, and the dirt should be here in a couple hours. Get that spread out and graded out and get my fabric laid down, so when I come back on Wednesday, well, all we got to do is really just bring stone and get everything leveled and graded, and that'll be that. So I'm hopefully, there's no real overhead obstacles here except for that power line, but it's fairly high, so I'm hopeful I can just tailgate everything for the most part through here and spread it that way, and then just come back through with the skid steer and just do a little bit of finish work with the skiddy and the rake, and we'll be good. So let's get started. Back. Straight back, straight back, straight back, straight back, straight back. All right, there, good. That's good. Gonna do me for this. Thinking it might take 2, but I think 1's gonna be plenty. Sweet. Looks pretty clean. A little root in there, a couple roots, but for the most part, looks good. So fire up the old skidder and get it graded out. Well, got all that graded out and that looks good. So now we're not going to be able to bring this whole side elevation up to this side, and we'd have to come up several feet, and that's just not doable here for this project. Plus we still want that water to go this way and shed off that way and off the back and down off that way. What we don't want it to do is settle right here in this hole that was here that is now gone. So we got all that graded back. All that should flow right back off that way down behind that shed. So we kind of did a little bit of a change order here. We're actually going to go ahead, bring in some extra stone, and we're going to stone all that in there. He's supposed to move that trailer for me, but I'm going to push that fabric right back up into there. We're going to bring it right up into here, and this will just run a straight line like that, right up kind of like that way. And this is really just going to kind of be a big square with a little shoot off right there next to the shed on the left side, and a little shoot off going that way as a little parking spot. So I hear thunder. That's wonderful. That usually is preceded by lightning and then precipitation. But I need to get this fabric laid out today. I'm going to lay it out and then roll it up and leave it at the end. So when I come back with stone on Wednesday, all I gotta do is unroll it, throw a couple staples in it, and start dropping stone. So I won't have to worry about that as long as I don't get rained on. So my fabric's right there, and oh gosh, I don't like that sound. So let's see what we can get done today. Get this fabric unrolled, unfurled, and see if we can get it ready for Wednesday. Quick addendum, this pothole, I tried to break it up as best I could. Not really much there to work with, but on Wednesday I'm gonna drop, you know, a third of a load, a quarter load of stone in that, fill that up, level it off, pack it down as best I can, then we'll throw fabric over top of it, and that should get rid of that pothole there. But I tried to break it up as best I could, and that'll help it from coming back as well. But the fabric, the stone in there with the fabric on top, should cure that problem. So just wanted to point that out as well. Well, we got a wonderful deluge of rain for like an hour. Now my pothole's full of water. I'll if it's still got water in it tomorrow, I'll take the blower and blow it out. But we can see here that this dirt is doing exactly what I wanted to do. We don't have this big low hole area here, and we got enough rain for me to tell me what it's doing. So, and this is perfect. This is what we want. So what's in it going to end up happening, there's not much I can do about this, is when we raise this up 3 or 4 inches with the fabric, all the water that comes off this way from the edge of the stone back that way is probably going to run down the edge of that stone and go out to this ditch here. Everything from the stone itself should run off that way, just like it's going off this dirt and go off that low area. And that's exactly where I wanted it to go, because that's the natural fall and progression of this. But we'll pack the stone down enough where it, you know, the water will not take the stone with it, and the fabric's going to hold everything in place on top. So that water should just go that way without really taking the stone with. There's enough bigger pieces in it in that crush and run to not typically have that happen. So this looks really good. This is exactly what we want. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my fabric, lay it out, and then we'll roll it up. I'll put it down there at the end so it's not in the way, and then tomorrow when I come back with the dump truck, we'll just unroll it, throw some staples in it, and we'll be good to go. right, so I got the fabric rolled out, so it's all measured out. I just kind of rolled it back up to get it out of the way. Because of the change order, I'm a little short on fabric, but I've got a half a roll at the office, which should be plenty enough. That's a 12 by 300, and we use the whole thing. So I should have enough in that half roll at the office to do that little bit right back there, and just fill in this little section here for that parking spot. So that should be fine. And so come back on Wednesday and bring the dump truck and start bringing in loads. I think we were at about 6 or 7 loads. I think we're going to be closer to 10 now with the change order. So it'll be what it'll be, but I think it's going to turn out good. All right, so I just got the machine on the trailer. I'm gonna roll this all into one video, but tomorrow on the holiday, I'm gonna go back to the office, unhook the bucket. We're gonna hook up the mega mower, and I got one more lot to mow with the mega mower before we send it back, so I'm gonna knock that out tomorrow. And then we'll be back here on Wednesday with the machine and the bucket and the dump truck to get this stoned out. So let's get out of here. Okay, we're back on day 2 of this driveway install, and it's got a load of stone. I'm gonna fill this hole in real quick. I'm gonna dump a little bit right here, spread it out with the rake, and they're gonna move the truck. We're gonna roll all this fabric back out. I brought another roll of fabric yesterday, and we're just gonna fill in that little section there and this section here, and that'll be that. So let's get to it. months, we've had a development. As you can see, it's a little wet. It's been pissing rain like this, just like this, for the last hour. So I got the water draining off down through there, and that's what we wanted to do. As a matter of fact, when this all gets graded out, so I wasn't able to tailgate back there because of that power line. So I got 2 loads of stone. I'm gonna get parked back there. I'm gonna park one more load. I might park it right here actually and just push it that way. But all that water draining right back out that way. So there's a lot of freaking water. Not getting this graded out today, but at least I'm getting all the stone. We brought 9 loads in. This is the last one right here. Thank goodness the loader operator was still at the plant waiting on me. Appreciate that guy. So, all right, let's get this dropped and we'll be back tomorrow. Hoping to get this done today, but can't do nothing about Mother Nature. All right, we are finally back. I started this job on Monday. I couldn't get stone on Tuesday because of the 4th holiday. Wednesday, we got 9 loads of stone brought in, and my plan was, before the monsoon came, was to get all of this spread out, because I didn't think it was going to take but maybe 1 or 2 hours to get this spread in and graded in with the skiddy. But yeah, way too much water yesterday, so thankfully it finally stopped raining after however many inches we got, and this stuff is dry enough for me to get it spread and graded down. So I'm not the best at grading. I'm definitely not branding over at Elite Earthworks, so I just kind of go over everything until I kind of get it what I want it to look like, and just kind of let the machine do the work and just make minor adjustments and spread everything around until it gets what I want. So I'm gonna probably start up here at the top with these 2 piles, and we'll just work our way back, and then I'll turn around, we'll fill in this front and that little parking spot right there, and that'll be it. So let's get to it. Okay, folks, that's a wrap on that. Got that done. Took about, actual time in the skid steer took about 2 hours, and that's kind of what I was accounting for when I did this. So that turned out well. At least the 2 hours to spread all that stone and grade everything out, that's kind of about what I counted for. So yeah, that looks good. I think he's going to be super happy with that. A lot better than what he had. No more big pothole right there. That's all nice, flat, and even. And this all has a nice, gentle grade going down that way to carry that water just out that way. Now right here, there's nothing I can do about this. So what really needs to happen is he probably needs to take a little bit of this out here, because this area is a little high. It kind of comes down, it gets low right there, and then it kind of comes back up. This probably needs to be cut down just a hair to get that water to kind of just keep going right down into that ditch. But that's a, you know, if you were to just kind of peel that off with a shovel a little bit, make that a little bit of a furrow right there, the grass would come right back and that water would just drain right down into that ditch. That really wouldn't be much of a problem. But anything that lands on the pad itself should just all kind of go down. And then the fabric itself is permeable, so if any water makes it down to the fabric, luckily everything we have here is sand, so it should all just kind of go right on, percolate right on through the fabric. That's the beauty of that fabric, is that it keeps the stone from sinking down and, you know, meshing with the dirt below. And that was the problem he had here originally. It also keeps the grass from coming back up through, and it's permeable. I tell everyone, if you're gonna do a rock project, at least here where I'm at, where we have a lot of rain, we have really sandy soil, or sandy slash kind of mucky organic soil, put down fabric, man. This will never go anywhere. I mean, he might have to come back and maybe put a little stone on top of it, but that'll be a long time down the road. A long time down the road. And you know, with this crush and run, it's a mix between fines, you know, like screenings, and then also bigger pieces, you know, 3/4 or so, or 1 inch minus, whatever you want to call it. It's a mix. But we could always come back and top this with 57. You know, he could top it with 57 granite, we could top it with 57 crushed concrete, you know, whatever he wants to do, if he just wants to leave it like this. But this will basically, that fabric underneath it will make this a permanent deal here. It will never sink, it will never go anywhere, you know, and it's gonna cure and harden very, very hard. So I always do, anytime I'm doing an install like this, I explain the whole process of the fabric to the client, and you know, because I don't want them to call me back 2 years down the road, I don't have any stone left because it's all sunk down into the ground, you know, and then that becomes a money pit for the client. So I did a driveway, one of the first jobs I ever did. I'll put a link in the description. It was a 300-foot driveway with a parking area at the end. Bad potholes, sand, it was a mess. I brought the driveway up, we brought in 3 loads of fill dirt, I raised the driveway up and put down fabric. Misty actually helped me put down that fabric, God bless her. And I did that whole thing with stone with a layer of 57 crushed concrete on top. And that driveway to this day, I did that project probably in 2019. It was one of the first driveway jobs I did. And they live just down the street from my parents. It looks exactly like the day I put it in. And they could not keep that driveway refreshed. It was potholing, it would flood out, it was bad. So, yep, this looks good. I think he's gonna be super happy with this. He's not home. He runs a dive service or something. So I think they're out diving today. But he'll be back in a bit. I'm sure he'll like this. So, all right, I'm really liking the ASV for grading. It's done a lot better than what I initially thought it would do for grading. So I've been really happy with that. So I'm gonna load it up. We'll get that bucket returned to Herc, and we'll get out of here.